All right, we now have Iowa coach Jan Jensen along with Lucy Olson and Hannah Stolke. At this time, Coach, if you'd make an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions for the players, and then we'll finish up with questions for you.
Well, we're disappointed, but I told the players in the locker room I just couldn't be more proud of them. They've just battled, and we just came up a little short tonight. And unfortunately, it's kind of been the story of I think, our games the whole season. I think our SID just told me, I think it's been 9 losses by under 10. I do know that. So, of course, I do a lot of soul searching, just trying to get them over that finish line. But Ohio State, credit to Kevin and his staff. They're always really good. They have a great team. I loved our game plan. I mean, I just looked at the box score. The difference of 5 points in the first quarter. We really weren't very good in the first, but we won the second, and then in that second half, they won by 1 point the third, and they won whatever by 1. But I'm proud of them, and I love coaching them, and I'm so grateful that we get a shot at the postseason.
Questions for the players?
Hannah, Chad Leistikow, Des Moines Register. Can you just kind of walk me through your vantage point of the late foul that was called against you on Cody, and also your final look there at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to foul there, obviously, but I did. So she made both of her free throws. Kudos to her. And I thought we got a great look in the end. So.
Yeah. Chris Megler with the Daily Iowan. Lucy, you played. You've had a heavy workload on offense this all season, pretty much, and even into the tournament. And I don't know if you heard what Coach said, but he kind of threw a different coverage at you in the second half, kind of more double teams. I just want to know from your perspective, what did you see out there in the second half to kind of limit you offensively?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good open shots. We just didn't hit as many as we needed to. I missed a lot of layups, so. Yeah, their defense is good. I guess it threw me off a little bit. Yeah, but just a few more makes, and that's our game. But, yeah, I don't know. We got a lot of good open shots with the rest of my teammates, so I'm happy about that.
Hannah, Jack Birmingham, Daily Iowan. To start the second half, you had a couple of moments, especially in the paint, where you've been really good all season, where you were able to tie or even give your team the lead. May not have been the outcome you were hoping for, but you were certainly a presence tonight with 14 points. Can you talk me through that a little bit?
Yeah, my teammates do a great job of getting me the ball when I need it, and yeah, I think I have great teammates, and I'm glad that I got to experience this with them for sure.
Ethan Petrie, Quad City Times. Hannah, Cody, during her post-game, said that this game's always personal going up against you guys. Is it the same for you guys? Is this a rivalry that's kind of budding in the women's game a little bit?
I think every game is personal. No matter who we're playing, we want to be us, and I think we needed to focus on us a little bit more in this game, and no, I wouldn't call it a rivalry, but every game we have to show up.
Okay, anything else for the players? All right, we'll go ahead and dismiss you to go back to the locker room, and we'll open it up for questions for Coach.
Good luck. Thank you.
Good luck in the Dargan Souther with the Des Moines Register. Jen, you've had a few points like this throughout the season where you kind of have conflicting emotions coming out of a game like this. How does this game and then this week become a beneficial thing as you guys move toward the NCAA tournament?
Oh, I think it's been, much more positive than the negative. I think, they've showed up, and I think our coaching staff is dynamite. I thought the scouts were awesome. I thought we knew our personnel pretty well. I thought our defensive schemes, I think they were always in the moment. I think just it's fun to be part of March. I think it's fun. I still believe, even though we came up a little short, I think we're one of the hottest teams. I was a little hopeful deep down in my heart. Had we maybe won 1 or 2 more, we might have got a host. That's been pretty fun. I don't know if that would have been possible or not. That's probably, I'm a little disappointed. But I'm just so thankful that I get to coach them, and that we'll be in the NCAA tournament. So, I'm conflicted. You don't like to lose, and it's so weird about sport. The difference, the euphoria of a win to the disappointment of a loss, but so many more positives out of this experience, for sure.
Okay.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports, you had mentioned doing soul searching about some of these really close games. As a first-year head coach, even though you've been around for a long time, what does that entail for you, and how do you think you're going to be doing it moving forward for the tournament?
Yeah, I think when you go, you kind of think your sets. Sometimes you kind of go with, who you think is going to hit the corner pocket, right? And then I'll go back and think, oh, maybe we should have thrown it inside. Maybe we shouldn't have driven it. And I'm guessing, Gino, if he loses a game or two, he might do that too. I guess I couldn't, don't know for sure. But I think anybody, in my opinion, worth your salt, you're certainly not going to look at everybody else and say, oh, she should have hit that. Oh, we should have done a little better at that. They should have done that. I think you better look first and foremost at the decisions you were making. But I don't feel like I'm not dismayed by it. I just wish we would have did this a little better. But I think that's just sport. Last night I felt pretty good about what I called. This one, just like, maybe I should have gone a different way in that last 6.8 seconds. But I wouldn't trade the experience. I wouldn't trade the fun of trying to win it, for sure.
Hey, Jan, Chad Lysico, Des Moines Register. I wanted to ask about Ava, but just real quick, you were mad about something on the inbounds with like 0.7 left, like when Hannah was cutting across. What was going on there?
Well, I can't say a whole lot, but I think the situation on the other end before that happened, I thought that was kind of a unfortunate way to have to shoot free throws with 6 seconds left. Been there, done that a few weeks ago. Then this one, when Hannah was trying to run, before we just got the ball handed, in my opinion, she was being held all the way. So when she was being held, instead of handing the ball, it was like, kind of told her not to get held. And so I thought, well, maybe we could have had a holding foul and we could have maybe shot a free throw.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not criticizing, I don't want to be in trouble, but that's why I was hot, because I was like, she couldn't even get set to go. And in that type of situation, part of the play, when you got 0.7 seconds, it's got to be, timing's got to be perfect. And so then when you can't get the jump on the play, it just kind of takes the rhythm out of it.
Okay. So anyway, regarding Ava Hayden, she obviously gives you, it was a great tournament for her, but it gives you a little interesting thought process, I guess, going into the next rounds, because you seem like you were trying to figure out how to use her more. What do you think?
Yeah, and that's the thing it's usually been more of a lineup issue, what type of post we're playing. If we need a little bit more bounce or I need a little bit more size, think, Lauren Betts' size versus Petty versus Van Sluten last night. And Ava's been coming, right? And I think there's a really, in my opinion, in my coaching career, whatever chair I sit on, the timing of when you kind of unleash can make all the difference. If you're a freshman and has to play, it's different because you're playing with I think Olivia Olson, one of my faves in the conference from Michigan, she gets to play a lot differently than a lot of them because she's starting, and so is Swords, and it's just a different feel. But when you're jockeying for position and you're trying to get someone ready to go when it's money time, to me, that's the hardest part. And if you do it right, it'll usually come up big for you. But I think Ava's done a lot, and she's showed that she's ready for the moments.
Okay, we're going to finish up with 3, 1, 2, and then 3 out front. So go ahead.
Yeah. Coach Chris Megley with the Daily Iowan. Again, I'm just asking about the defense again. In the first half, they did a lot of press, also in the second half, but they focused more on Lucy in the second half. So when they're kind of taking the most consistent offensive weapon out the game almost, how do you kind of adjust to that, especially down the stretch in a close game like that?
Yeah, I think Lucy did a good job of handling it. Like, we forced some shots in the first half, but I think we got tremendously good looks. Unfortunately, Taylor McCabe was just really cold. I'll take Taylor McCabe just about every day. I'll take Kylie Feuerbach in that corner pocket that last 40, 50 seconds left. So I think we're usually more than that. I think Lucy was a little bit colder too. She tried to attack some, just didn't hit some. But I think if we wouldn't have got other looks, I'd have been a little bit more, felt more pressed with that. I think it was a good decision by them, but I think we still could have found a way to win the game.
Michael Loss, Cedar Rapids Gazette. Jan, how well positioned do you think your team is for this tournament? Certainly some of your players have been down that road, but this is going to be a different kind of NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think we're, about as good as this group can be. Because I think back where we were when we hit the West Coast road trip, we were in the middle of that adversity where we lost a few in a row. And I remember looking at their eyes. We were at a Seattle University. We just lost by 1 point at Oregon. We didn't have Hannah in that game. And, boy, it was tough sledding, right? Everybody get up and, get on the plane and fly up to Washington. But we had a really good meeting, and I just kept saying, hey, we're closer than we're farther. And I think what they've been through, if you can come through adversity and look back on it and really look at where you've grown and have more success than not, I think you should feel really good about getting to play in, the big dance. And, the story of this particular team is the difference is, we just don't have that consistent go-to situation at the end of the game. This particular time, it was a defense by Kevin, but we've kind of been all over the board. And so maybe that's, come into play. But I think these guys should feel really good. It was big shoes when they all started. Their shadows were looming. And, non-con went pretty well, hit a little rockiness. But, boy, I think we should feel pretty good going in the tournament. But as I felt every year, whether we're a number one seed or whatever we get, it is all about the matchups. And it doesn't matter your seed, but if you face a team that you just know you don't quite click as much with, then it gets to be a little harder. But I'm just thrilled that we're going to see our name pop up. Really feel grateful for that. And these kids deserve it. They've battled.
Okay, final question for Coach.
Coach Jack Birmingham, Daily Iowan. I know you're someone who kind of doesn't like to look into the past too much. I know you kind of like to just coach in the moment, control what you can control. But moving further into March, I should say, moving into the NCAA tournament, which a month or two ago was even in question, right? What's one thing you kind of want to see from this team, and what's one way you think maybe tonight kind of ties into that, something you think that can be improved upon or even just keep doing to get you guys more success?
I just think it's the little consistency on offense. I mean, I credit Ohio State a lot. Their defense kind of speeds you up, but we missed a lot of layups, and a lot of times we missed some layups throughout the year at key times. But we just go too many minutes sometimes where we're just harder to score. And that's one thing I keep looking at, different actions. But I want to see our offense get a little bit more consistent. And we'll be working on that. And I think I need to just be a little bit more physical. I think now we can kind of work on ourselves again. You can't work on yourselves too much when you're preparing for the next opponent. So offensively consistent, and I just got to get us a little bit more physical to finish layups.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thanks so much. Thanks for covering us.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.